What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Ticket to Anywhere podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Trizzy.
And I'm Leah, aka LA in Flight. And this episode is all about traveling for work, which actually doesn't sound that glorious, but we are piggybacking off of Ben's Big Deal episode 52. So if you want to hear him talking about credit cards, points, hacking, how he got started into it was by traveling for work, and we thought we'd share a little bit of our experiences. So this is a nice quick episode detailing where we've gone, how we've done it, like what accounts we've hooked up to what to get double points, some of the how we pack for trips, right, how we maximize where we go. It's short and sweet, but it's chock full of great info like we like to bring to you every other Wednesday.
Also, on our work trips, we can't forget coffee and tea that we drink.
We need it. It's our fuel.
Exactly, especially you, because you be running like week-long events, running back and forth. I am just drinking a simple turmeric calamansi tea that I got from the Philippines.
Yum. Cheers to that. I made my own little latte. You'd be so proud. I made my own oat milk this week.
Hey.
With a Ninja blender, not your almond cow, but I made my own oat milk, use Cafe Bustelo for my espresso, and then just a little shot of some Califia Farms pumpkin spice creamer to round out the fall season. So homemade oat milk latte.
How did you strain it out? You have a cheesecloth or something?
I don't have a cheesecloth. I use just the double mesh strainer. And I actually save the oatmeal and I like eat it.
Yeah. No, totally. That's what I do.
Because I'm like, I don't want to waste this.
Exactly. It's better
Mhm.
making oatmeal or oat milk than almond milk because the almond milk, the remainings, I don't know what to do with it besides make banana bread or some sort of bakery
Yeah.
with it. But oat milk, I eat the oatmeal every day, so
Yeah.
it's just easy.
Mhm.
But that is our coffee and
Cheers.
tea. And cheers to that. Cheers to our episode of Traveling for Work.
Enjoy.
This is Leah and Trizzy, and we are two voices, two views, and two ways to adventure from anywhere.
We prioritize travel in our lives and we both travel very differently.
Every other Wednesday, we drop episodes featuring the coolest travelers around the globe, local business owners, community episodes from you, and of course, us, your resident travel lovers.
This is Ticket to Anywhere podcast. Watch us on YouTube or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Safety Wing is the world's first international travel medical insurance developed to meet the needs of entrepreneurs and remote workers traveling or living abroad worldwide. The Safety Wing Nomad Insurance includes both travel and travel medical insurance, which includes coverage for any travel delays, lost checked bags, emergency response, and natural disasters, plus coverage and access to qualified global network of hospitals and doctors for unexpected medical problems and accidents, and any emergency medical evacuations. You can sign up for Nomad Insurance even if your trip is already happening, or sign up in advance by selecting a future start date. For only $42 per 4 weeks, you can be covered under Safety Wing and its Nomad Insurance. Click the link in our description for more info and to sign up. Safe travels!
Traveling for work. We hate it and we love it and everything in between.
We love it for the free points, I guess, the free mileage.
We do, but so many companies don't allow you to use your own cards anymore and your own accounts and whatnot. They have to be on company things,
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure. But you get
So,
mileage, right? At least.
um, in my experience, I feel like no. Maybe you can go ahead and you could probably, when you check in or when you follow up later, if it's a flight, you can probably add an account number to it, to the booking. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that we're just like jump right in. But the reason we want to talk traveling for work is because we've done it quite a bit this year and in the past. And we wanted to kind of piggyback off of Ben's episode a few episodes ago, talking about how he got started, even points in hacking, traveling for work. And then lately, I've heard a few episodes on how people are maximizing their work trips. Shout out to All the Shit I've Learned Abroad. They just did a work episode as well. And we may or may not have too much to say on this topic, but for the lucky or unlucky ones that get to travel for work, I thought we'd just spill our thoughts here.
I've done a lot of local travels, and I think the furthest I've
Mhm.
been to was like in the middle of the Mojave Desert, which I thought was pretty cool. If you guys don't know by now, I am like a videographer, photographer in the music industry. So when there's a music video production shoot, they send me out there to capture content behind the scenes, get some interviews, get some liners, social content, things like that. Some press photos as well. And so I love it because it does allow me to go to places that you normally don't really find. And if you find it, you have to have like some sort of permit or some license
Mhm.
to get to it. So for this instance in Mojave Desert, there's no way I would have been able to find this location because it's off of a beaten mile
Mhm.
marker along like Barstow or something. And
Mhm.
then once you get to a specific off-roading spot, you have to meet up with the person that lives in that area to guide you through to this
Wow.
empty lake. And so I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is totally cool."
Yeah.
Um, and another one that I went to was out in the forest somewhere south of San Diego. I forgot the name, but I probably wouldn't have gone down there, and apparently Disney shoots out there sometimes here and there.
Oh.
So you get these I get these opportunities to see different sets, different
Mhm.
locations that normally people would have to pay millions of dollars for, thousands of dollars to see, permits, license here and there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Do they have official names like that people could find them? Like if you were to create your own content there and you tagged
I
it, like
think
could
there's, like,
people
coordinates, and for sure there has to be a
Okay.
name. Yeah, I remember seeing a name upon entrance, but I just have to look it up. But yeah, my job has been it has brought me to really cool locations.
That is super cool. Yeah, you do a lot of like day trips to certain places. You've come up to like Vasquez Rocks near
Mhm.
me and
Yeah, that one was
you go
awesome.
down. Yeah, so it's like Star Wars land. And
For
then I'll
sure.
hear about you going down to like Newport Beach and whatnot and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you do
It's
go all
fun.
over.
And throughout the years, I've learned more and more on what to bring with me, and it feels
Mhm.
like a road trip, so I if before I wouldn't hate going out really far, but because I've become more and more experienced in the road trip life,
Mhm.
I love it. I just treat it as a road trip. I have snacks in the back, I have my Jackery, I have my fan going on so I could work in my car. So,
Wow.
it's pretty
You
cool.
are set. Wait, tell us about how you work in your car. That is very interesting.
So, luckily, a lot of the stuff that I do does not require internet service, right? So, if I have all
Okay.
my assets as far as footage and stills, raw
Mhm.
files with me on a hard drive, then I could work basically anywhere. And I work out of my car, which is a really cute Nissan Cube. And in the future, I hope to convert it into more of like a mobile working space, I guess.
What?
So I carry a Jackery with me, which is a
Mhm.
power generator, and that has basically saved my life because before that, I would try and work as fast as I can before the battery
Mhm.
dies. But now I could just
Mhm.
like take my time, chill, and the Jackery I have works for like a small fan that you could use in your house. So if it's a hot day, I just plug it
Wow.
in the Jackery, have the fan going while I'm sitting in the car editing videos, editing photos, and if I'm antisocial, which is most of the time, I'll take the lunch with me into my car and I'll just chill there. Like it feels like home in my car, so
Wow.
I love it.
I love this because you hear that, Jackery? You're out here saving lives with this one. I feel like that's so cool, like making the most of your situation and being in an environment where you are comfortable and getting things done, but it's still
Mhm.
remote. It's like the new way of working, to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's
Exactly.
super cool. Oh my gosh. I love that. I want to see if if anyone else out there can work in their car like Trizzy.
I should take some photos of myself doing
Yeah.
it.
Oh man, yeah, I'm not as local as you. Sometimes I am. Like I had a staycation in Santa Monica at the Proper this past April for a big energy drink partner that I work for. And that was beautiful. It was very, very luxe, very luxe.
Yes, it
And
was.
I feel like unfortunately when I travel for work, I'm very different from you where I don't get to spend any time seeing the sights. Like I'm not on a set. I'm in
Yeah.
the office. And I barely get any time in this beautiful hotel that I'm in because I'm usually at the office and then I'm out at dinner and then I'm out at drinks. And then I come home at some forbidden hour and just pass out. So I feel like I don't get to enjoy it. But pretty soon coming up, I think after this episode is released, I'll be heading to the Viceroy in Santa Monica, and I've never stayed there before. So another little staycation at a different hotel, which I'm excited for. But I've also
So
traveled, yeah.
so work gives you the opportunity to stay in these amazing hotels as well. Or it might not be locations, but
Yep. But I mean, like,
hotels
I
you
don't get
stay.
to enjoy the hotels,
Yeah.
like I barely get to. So and they're always places that I would never book myself, which is also very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't usually stay in hotels, but the reason my style's been changing a bit this year is because I've had the opportunity to stay in so many hotels
Yeah.
the past like year or two. And I always like to let people know like how the stay was as well. Um but yeah, I mean, yeah, traveling and then traveling for other forms of work. Like went to the podcast conference. We went to a few travel conferences this year, right?
Mhm.
Um, those have been, I know you stayed in like a boutique hostel. I stayed in a or boutique hotel. I stayed in a hostel then. And that was more like on our dime. So we would
Yeah.
pick something that was more in our price range. And then with it's interesting because for conferences that I attend, it's so much easier to just stay, even though it's not always the cheapest, but it's so easy to stay at the conference hotel, right? Where like
Oh,
you can
yeah.
just kind of crawl up to bed or it's like a few feet away. Yeah, it's so much easier.
Yeah. I do find it pretty cool when it comes to these conferences. We you notice that the normal hotels that you would stay at would be much more expensive. So it kind of
Mhm.
pushes you to check out more of the boutique hotels that's a little bit more affordable, small
Mhm.
business hotels too. So that's what happened at New Orleans, and luckily we didn't stay at a chain hotel, but we
Mhm.
loved where we stayed at.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. I thought it was really cool too, and you were right across from like in a really cool area where there were a lot of restaurants and places to go out and whatnot. And I guess that's a lucky part of like, going to a travel conference is like I got to stay in a hostel, whereas like when a big corporation would never put you up at a hostel. So unless they were like fend for yourself, Um, but when you're doing, things on your own, you get to go where you want to, which brings us to like paying for it. So historically, and that is something like Ben said in his episode, he got to book everything on his own. But like I mentioned earlier, not a lot of companies these days will let you do that. They want you to use a company card just so they can control the finances a little bit better. I see, what they're trying to do. But in the past, like, when you've had like multiple day stays, how does it work for you? And then I can let you know like my experience and like, how do we get the most out of like points and hacking the system that way?
Yeah, exactly. I would go to New York every year for work, and they're smart. They have the corporate card, and if you don't have a corporate
Mm,
card, you have
hmm.
to give them the amount, and they run it through like some sort of centralized billing system that they have
Oh,
internally.
yep.
And the cool thing I would say is that they allow us to enter in our frequent flyer numbers, the loyalty numbers that we
Oh,
have. So
okay.
I have been earning points through mileage, not through
Hmm.
like pricing or cost. And with the hotels, they smart too. They keep changing it every time we go, so we can't really build up loyalty, you know.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
know. I'm like, "Ooh, you slick, slick, slick." Um, but I would say it's worth it just to have multiple, uh, I guess, hotel loyalty
Mhm.
programs, because you
Mhm.
never know if you're going to a conference and you want to stay at this small hotel again that work had put you through, but now you're paying with your own dime. Like maybe
Mhm.
it could help shave off a few dollars or something, and the system will notice
Mhm.
your name that you stayed there before. You might get some perks, some others incentives. So yeah, that's how it works for me.
Yep. 100%. And like, hot tip, I've been seeing this like all over TikTok because I've been doing it myself. And I know you don't drink coffee, but you can still drink tea. But please tell me you linked your Delta Sky Miles account to any your
You
Starbucks
know,
account.
you
That's
know
what I
it.
said. And my sister does not have a Sky Miles account yet. I'm like, please make yourself one because she buys a lot of Starbucks. And I'm like, I feel like these points are going into the black abyss. Because if I could hook up my account to hers, I would, but you can't.
Yeah,
It's one to one,
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
So please, these are like those hacks, right? Hook up your Sky Miles account to your
Airbnb.
Starbucks account. Yep. And then I think, what is it? Uber with Marriott. I think that's
Yes. Uber,
a
Marriott,
deal as well. Mhm.
Turo with Delta, Airbnb with Delta.
There you
It's
go.
crazy. Even Instacart. Instacart is with Delta. So for those of you lazy to go grocery shopping, look it up. Look it up and link it up.
Okay. And I've had my Lyft hooked to my Delta Sky. I think Delta is also Delta
Yes,
Sky Miles.
for sure. Yeah.
I've had it hooked for years, except that Lyft is now way more expensive for me than Uber, unfortunately. Um,
What did you call it? Instant gratification.
yes, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Because we all know I don't have no loyalty to any airlines yet. I have loyalty to the credit cards.
These travelers ain't loyal.
Mhm.
Going back to the Delta and Starbucks, so you
Mhm.
get 1 point for every dollar you spend. But I believe if you booked with Delta, and on the day of departure you buy Starbucks, you get 2 points per dollar.
What?
Yes,
I love
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also, like, our good friend Bon Voyage Jackie said you get a free drink when you hook them up. I did not get a free drink for hooking them up
It's
and
through
let
your points, I believe. So if you link it up, you get
Oh.
150 points on your Starbucks card, so that might count as a free drink, I'm not sure.
Maybe I did get it because one day I saw my account go from like 60 and the next day it was like at 260 and I'm like, "Wait, how did this happen?" So I think that's how it happened cuz I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, maybe there was a glitch," but I'm pretty sure I'd hooked up my account during that time.
right.
So, okay. Okay. Yeah, it's I mean, when I've done my like, I went to Atlanta this year, I did a staycation in Santa Monica. So the bigger things because like it's a big corporation that I work for, like the flight and hotel have been booked by them. But things that I can reimburse like coffee, food, dinners, drinks,
Mhm.
I put that on my own card. Of course, my American Express Gold that gets four times the points for anything food related, like that's a high point earner, so I make sure to be like, okay, I'm going to book it on my card and y'all will reimburse me. So
Yeah. And sometimes
whereas
those
like
are, if you book, let's say coffee gets like 5% or something, or
mhm
5 miles back, you could benefit off of that as well. So,
mhm
always check the fine prints, check the categories that your credit card offers you, because you
mhm
never know. Gas could be what, 3% versus other credit cards that could give you 1% or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%, especially ones that have like rotating cat I don't do the whole rotating categories cards, but
I have that option, but it's too much to
yeah,
keep
it's
changing.
it's a lot. That's why I'm just like I haven't Amex Gold yet. I'm not Amex Plat yet, but my Amex Gold has high earning power and anything food related. So I'm like, it's my food card. Everything
Mhm.
else goes on my Capital One,
Nice.
Venture X.
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not ready for any more cards. Sorry, Ben. I'm not ready for any more cards.
That's
Chase been
okay.
trying to get me though. Chase is like, we see you opening up cards with everyone else. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. There was one thing, Ben didn't mention this in the episode, but I follow him on Instagram, and if you guys
Hmm.
haven't, check him out. His handle is Ben's Big Deal.
Hmm.
And he mentioned recently that a lot of hotels, they have like these flash offers where it only happen for like 1 hour or maybe 3 hours or maybe 24 hours.
Oh wow.
So he recently mentioned, I forgot which hotel, maybe Marriott, where
Hmm.
all you have to do is sign up for
Hmm.
a new account or sign up for this new program, and you'll automatically be upgraded to one of their highest tiers. And he
What?
mentioned to always hurry up and hop on those opportunities because
Mm-hmm.
they don't announce when it ends. And
Yeah,
it
of
could
course.
also sometimes be a glitch too that you don't know about. So
Yep. 100%.
take advantage.
Dang. Absolutely, absolutely. And Ben's episode was episode, I think, 51, right?
Yes.
So if anyone wants to listen to Ben talk about points, hacking, credit cards, traveling for work, please refer to episode 51.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So I want to talk a little bit about like packing and what we bring and how we prep for trips. Like I definitely feel we were talking about this before we started recording, but I always feel like I bring more, but I'm always very organized when I'm taking a work trip, and I always use a roller carry-on. I never use my Cotopaxi or like my backpack because I know I'm going to be in a hotel room.
Imagine Leah walking into a conference with her Cotopaxi.
I feel like I have before. I feel like I have walked into situations with like my backpack and people were like, "What are you okay?" But yeah, I feel like I'm much more efficient when I pack for work because I honestly just reuse the same outfits every other day. I'm like, this is work. Like, this is serious business. I'm not trying to change 3 times in a day like it's the Grammys, like I usually do. And I mix and match really well. Basically, wear the same outfit every other day. And because I work in events, if you don't already know, I work in events. I'm always around people, right? I'm guiding people, hanging out with them. I have to go from day to night. I really don't have any time to change. So I have to find something that's like still like nice for nighttime and appropriate, but like comfortable too, but like work appropriate.
Yeah.
So I have to be really on top of it when I'm packing. But is there
My
anything
work
special that you do? Yeah.
If we talk about New York trip, I try and treat it as my runway, I guess. Like that is probably the only time I will bust out my Jordans, bust out my new Nikes,
Oh
my
my
nicer clothes
gosh.
and stuff. But music industry is very casual. Like I don't need
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
wearing anything like business like, but it still
Mhm.
has to be presentable.
Yep.
I will say it's always I feel that I'm going up against other swag people, other hype beasts and things like that. So it's definitely like a culture fashion show when I go to New York.
Okay, and it's New York,
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
gotta
You never
step your game
know
up.
what Instagrammer is gonna catch you in the background.
Have you seen
um,
those TikTok videos or, like, shorts of, like, people, like, walking slowly, across,
oh
like
yes. Yeah.
on the streets because
Yeah.
people captured them,
Right. I
in their
love
outfits for
those.
the
Yeah, I
day.
feel
Oh, I
like those
love them
are
too,
so
but
slick.
I always used to think they were, like, real, and I'm like, "Dude, they're so, like, set up."
It's super set up, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way.
We're gonna see Trizzy in those soon.
I
In
hope
one
so.
of them.
I don't
Watch
know, my
out,
my
yeah.
fashion's been kinda lazy throughout the pandemic. I'm just like, I love my pajamas
Oh,
and my
same here.
sporting outfits.
Same here, yeah.
But, you mentioned that you don't really get a lot of free time, to
Nope.
utilize the hotel. Luckily, I
Ugh,
do. So I'll still bring, my workout outfits. I'll utilize the gym
okay.
that the hotel has, and I would say running around New York, like Manhattan, streets of Manhattan, is dangerous, stinky, and unleveled because of pavements, but
Uh-huh.
it's
Mhm.
very art-like. If you're on running along the Highland, I think that's
Mhm.
pretty cool. And then
Mhm.
I ran into one of my favorite artists, her Yayoi Kusama. Her pumpkin was out in front of this
What?
other hotel, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool." So it's a new environment, so every little thing is just like so exciting for me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, those are like kind of how I pack. I would say I don't reuse because unlike your events could last for a week. Mine's
Mhm. Mhm.
usually just maybe 3 nights and then I'm out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But in terms of the local work that I do, it depends on the weather. If I'm
Mhm.
inside a studio, I'll dress somewhat warm because the AC is always blasting in the studio.
Yeah.
If it's outdoor shoots and it's hot, then I'll be in like shorts and a t-shirt during the day, and I'll bring like an extra sweater for the night because
Mhm.
it does get chilly. And yeah, it
Yeah.
really just depends. And to this, like at this point, my car has a toothbrush, a toothpaste, like for emergencies. It
Yeah, emergency
has
kit, like an overnight
emer-
kit type, right?
exactly, emergency
Okay,
sweaters,
nice.
emergency sweatpants, emergency socks. So
Nice,
it's
okay.
yeah, I have it built out like that.
That's amazing, dude. We need a car tour.
Ooh, yes. I gotta clean
Yes.
it up first then.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, I mean, is there what is like I think the one item that I would tell everyone to bring on a work trip, honestly, is vitamin C packets. Because when I think of work trips, I get exhausted thinking about how I'm literally going for day to night. Like case in point, in Atlanta, like one day we were like out at work starting 7:30 a.m. We went out or all day working, dinner, then we went out, and I didn't get home till 6 a.m. And I was still at the office at 7 a.m.
Jeez.
So I needed that vitamin C.
I think that's
um,
key. That's like major key right there. Even for me, I
mhm,
would say anything emergency, airborne, liquid IV, those
yeah,
are what's gonna help kind of fuel you and
for sure,
keep you
for sure.
okay, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had time to use the gym like you did. I was thinking when you were saying that, I'm like, I refill my water bottle in the gym.
That's a hot tip right there too. I
Yeah,
agree.
that's my hot tip because I don't know why I didn't connect the 2, but I realized that in Bali, I'm like, "Oh my god, where can I get water?" And I
Mhm.
was like, "Wait, I'll just go to the gym and get water." Some places have water bottles ready to give out, which is nice,
Yeah,
but I mean, plastic usage, but I always bring my own water
exactly.
bottle wherever I go,
Yeah.
so
For
mhm.
sure. And if you're staying at a hotel that doesn't have, water dispenser or a gym, like find the closest 7-Eleven, mini mart,
Mm,
and buy like a 2-gallon, 4-gallon one. That'll
yep,
push you to drink it too, so don't waste it.
100%. Yeah, I don't like wasting the water, so
Yeah.
oh man. And then yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about exploring, which I said during the week I never really get to do, or the week that I'm gone, the days that we're there for the event. So I always try, and I'm sure many people can relate, and you as well, but I always try to add days before and or after so I get to enjoy the city, right?
Do they charge you, like, is it your own dime if you stay extra?
Oh yeah, of
Okay.
course. Like I mean, I can always like if you're working with corporate, you can always adjust your flight
Yeah.
to fly back when you want so you could push it out a day or two
Mhm.
or get there a day early. But like everything that's not related to work is paid for on my own.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
same for us too, if
Did
we
you ever
wanted
have
to
days
extend it. I
with
did, yeah.
New York?
Usually for the New
Mhm.
York trip, I try to, like, I've flown to Toronto from New York. I've taken the Amtrak down to Washington, D.C. I've stayed within New York for a
Mhm.
few
Nice.
extra days. Yeah, it's nice. It's not too bad if you know how to budget and if you're
Yeah,
frugal.
100%. But I feel like just work trips in general are a good way to kind of get to, like you were saying earlier, even with the local places in Southern California. And with me, like I hadn't been to Atlanta in 8 years, and I've never had a staycation in Santa Monica. So I feel like work trips are a really good way to try to expand your travel a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And
Mhm.
for the staycations and just like shoots in general around
Mhm.
California, you just discover new places that you don't know. Like if I'm driving past another cafe or like a new restaurant, I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I want to try that next time I'm in this area. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. Well, yeah, I mean, when I stayed at Proper last April, the Proper Santa Monica Proper is like $600 a night. I could not pay for that on my own. So we were put up luxuriously, thank you very much.
You have
But
a reel on that, right?
amazing, I do. I have a reel. We'll post it here. It looks good. It was fire. I was very proud of it. But it was seriously like life of luxury. Probably one of the nicest hotels I stayed at. But yeah, I mean, if you can maximize, your work trip, do it in every sense of the word.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you
Cool.
everybody for tuning in again and for supporting us. We are coming close to the end of our second year. So just finish off strong, guys.
Yes,
Just
finish
keep
off the
giving us
year
the love, keep
strong.
showing us the support, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Ticket to Anywhere podcast. Don't forget to connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. If you love travel as much as we do, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel as well as anywhere you listen to podcasts such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Pocket Casts. Thank you all for your support so far. When you have the time, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We love to hear your thoughts and feedback, and it'll help others come across our episodes and hopefully be inspired to travel and adventure anywhere.